Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video I wanted to talk about how you can become rich off of social media, because that's how I've done it. I went from broke to rich, and it's all thanks to social media. After I uploaded my last video, a lot of people that have regular jobs, just 9 to 5s, have messaged me, and they were literally like, Liz, please help me in any way how I can make more money, because they were like, I cannot make ends meet even though I have 2 jobs, and they still cannot afford even things like groceries, which I think is so insane. If I can share anything, I'll just share it for free because I genuinely want to help. Now, first thing I need you to realize is that old ways won't open new doors. So we live in a society where we're always doing what we have done in the past, but times are evolving right now. So a lot of people are trying to create businesses or trying to sell products in old ways. But right now we live in a society where AI and social media makes the most amount of money. So even if you have a product that you're trying to promote, or even if you're just trying to create a brand out of yourself, it is really crucial for you to go and look up about TikTok, look up about YouTube, Snapchat, Instagram, any of these platforms, because you can market your product or yourself on those platforms. And that can literally build you generational wealth. It can literally make your product go viral like this. And, you know, we talk a lot about like, oh, you know, back in the day, our parents had it so easy, blah, blah. In this day and age, we have ChatGPT. We can literally look up anything. We can learn anything. We can learn a new skill. We can go on social media like TikTok. You can go viral like this. People get careers like this all of a sudden, overnight. Product goes viral overnight, and all of a sudden they have a crazy booming business. Back in the day, people had to be so talented in order to get a contract. Back in the day, people had to work so hard to even be recognized by the music industry. They had to pay so much money for marketing to even get their product in people's hands. Now you have these tools, so use these tools, study these tools, and understand how much these tools make. If you want to make money off of social media, you need to first stop being afraid of being seen. A lot of people have this extreme fear of being seen, of being judged, and you need to already let that go completely. What you need to do right now is you put out your creations, whether it's on TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, YouTube, whatever, you put it out there, and then whatever people say or whatever people do with that is none of your business. You just put it out there with good intent, and then whatever they do with that, because everyone works from their own perspective. Imagine a person is watching your content, but they're miserable inside. For them, they will receive it as miserable, or they will twist it as something miserable when that was never your intention. What you then have to do is like, okay, you're projecting, that's your reality, it's not my business. You don't look at your comments, you don't look at all these things, you don't engage with these people. If you need help with this, then maybe you should start journaling about it. And you should start journaling about why you care so much about what people think, why you're trying to explain yourself. I talked to my therapist about this, and they were literally like, Liz, do you always have to explain yourself when you were younger? And do you always have to like prove that you were a good kid? I was like, yeah. And they were like, yeah, that's where it comes from. It's a people-pleasing behavior. Another thing that's very important is that you get rid of the victim mindset. Being a victim gives your power away. Acting like, oh my God, why is this happening to me? God, why do I deserve this? Why not you? Why don't you have to go through stuff? Why someone else? You know, if you just see everything that happens to you in your life as, okay, what is this teaching me? What can I learn from this? Then you will grow. If every time you take a situation and you extract the wisdom from it, that is how you create more power for yourself. That is how you create more confidence for yourself. Someone that looks at life and whatever life throws at them and thinks like, you know what, I'm gonna get back from this. Doesn't matter. Throw it at me, watch how I will grow again and again and again. Someone that thinks like that, you can't even say anything to them. Their mentality is so strong. This is how strong your mentality has to be as well. Look, for example, me. I'm a refugee. Literally had no money, nothing. My dad, instead of taking care of his children, he was taking all the money that my parents were getting from the government and sending it back home to his mother so she could build a house. I grew up with no money, and from a young age, I understood if I'm not gonna do it, no one is gonna do anything for me, because I did not have anything if I didn't go and find it for myself. Also, when you are working for yourself, you don't really have an option to be a victim, because if you don't get your stuff done, no one is gonna pay you. So you are your own boss. That's why this job is not for everyone. If I don't make the content, if I don't keep showing up every month, even, you know, sometimes I just want to delete all my social media and I want to disappear off this earth, literally. But then where will I go? Where will I go back to? What will I do? You know, I don't have generational wealth, and I take care of my family, so what will I do? I can't. I have myself, I have my brain, and I need to keep working. The thing is, get any job you can and do it well. So for example, when I was 15, 16, I could legally work. And immediately when I hit that age, I sent out so many CVs everywhere because I wanted to work. And I got so many student jobs. So I was cleaning at events. I worked in warehouses where my mom also worked. I worked in a supermarket. I worked in a call center. I worked in sandwich shops. I worked in a restaurant, and the restaurant job was behind the bar, and that was the longest consistent job I had before I started social media. I did all of these jobs. And why was this so good? Because first of all, I did not have to be at home with my father who was abusive. So if you're living in an abusive household, then if you're allowed to get a job and stay there as long as you can, because first of all, you don't have to interact with your abuser, and second of all, you can save up money to maybe move out of your house and stack that money away. What else was this very good? It was because I was surrounded by people and I was interacting with them, and also with men, because I wasn't allowed to interact with men. That was like one thing I could not do. So anytime my male coworker would talk to me or my boss would come talk to me, I would literally turn as red as a tomato. Like I was super, super insecure, like in my communication and whatever. So these jobs, especially in the restaurant, they really helped me with my confidence, that helped me with my communication skills. It's very good to do any job and then you just take that job. It doesn't matter what it is. You don't have to be ashamed of it because a job is just over broke. Okay, that is it. You are doing that, but that is not your life goal. That is just what you need to do right now in order to survive. Survival jobs, you can literally do anything. To me, I noticed with any student job I did, people really loved me at work because I was a really good worker. And even now with my social media, I'm always on time. I'm always consistent. If I need to do sponsorships, I'm very consistent. Like the brands always keep coming back because they really love working with me because I'm reliable. And I learned that discipline and that skill already within my student job. How do you make money off of social media? Basically, I made money off of YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and Snapchat. So I have 4 income sources, earn like 6 figures on a monthly basis. I earn 1 to 2 million a year. Why do I get paid and how do I get paid? So for YouTube, I get paid through ads. So this video has an ad on it. Also, you get paid through sponsorship. This video also has a sponsorship in it. My price for sponsorship is very high because I have a lot of subscribers. I have a lot of engagements. I have a lot of viewers and I have a lot of comments. That's what the sponsors will look at, and when they see that your engagement is very high, they are willing to pay more. Now, a lot of companies cannot work with me because they cannot afford my price for sponsorship, but I have not cared about that because I always was like, this is my set price, and whoever can meet that can work with me, and whoever can't, they unfortunately just cannot afford to work with me. On Instagram, you get paid for different things. I get paid for videos. That's also like a 6-figure contract. It's a lot of money. Then on Snapchat, you get paid for posting pictures, videos. And on Snapchat, you can make a lot of money, but it's very important to be consistent. So when you see these creators on Snapchat, they're making bank, okay? I think Snapchat, out of all social media, earns the most. Or it's either Snapchat or Twitch. Twitch streaming is also very popular right now. But I feel like that is just, you're like filming your whole life. People are so invested. I feel like that's too much of my privacy. So I wouldn't like that. TikTok, you can make money because in some countries it's monetized. And then on top of that, artists will pay you to use their sounds. So I get paid to use sounds, and that is just like a couple of thousands of dollars for like one TikTok video. How do you get big on social media? You first of all have to be authentic. So you have to really be yourself. If you go on social media and you're just trying to imitate people and you're just trying to take on their vibe, people feel that energy. That doesn't resonate with a lot of people. But if you genuinely just are who you are and you just show yourself as you are and you show the things that you like, people will love you for it. And energy wise, authenticity is one of the highest vibrations. It's even higher than love. I've always been very authentic. I've always shared a lot of things about myself, even if I'm very embarrassed by them. And I've just done that because I've always wanted to help people. And I thought like, you know, if I just share this, then maybe someone in this situation can find some help in this. I feel like your intention has to be so good, and your intention is very important of why you do things. For example, I always had the intent of helping people with all my videos, and I really think that's why all my videos always did very well, because there was a pure intention behind it. Now, if you're just doing stuff just to get famous or just to get money, I know people like that and they don't really find an audience, or people really don't resonate with them. Another intention would be like, oh, I just want to make people laugh. I want them to be happy. Intention is I genuinely want to teach people things. Any way that you can help someone, like footballers, for example, give people entertainment. They put people out of their problems. Comedians do the same thing. Actors, Singers, they literally help so many people recover from broken heart. If you want to start a clothing line, like that helps me, I can put clothes on. You start a makeup line, you're helping a lot of people because now they have makeup. Dancing videos, anything that you think, you know, this in any way can help people or I can teach them something, will be received well. Another thing is have different backup plans. So for example, my plan was I'm gonna start a career on social media. That was my first plan. But then I also thought to myself, okay, if I have a relationship, I want my partner to be stable and to have enough money to take care of both of us, so that if my social media doesn't work out, I can rely on my partner, because I cannot rely on my family, because my family doesn't, like, they're not wealthy. So I don't have that backup. But if you have that, then you already have a backup plan, which gives you already so much freedom to try different things out. And on top of that, I also got a degree. So I got a degree in administration and office. So if I wanted to be a bookkeeper right now, an administrative assistant, and like a law firm or whatever, I could do that because I have the right diploma. Or if I want to go to university right now, I can also apply and learn for another degree. Studying, keep doing your thing. If you choose a partner, choose smart, especially as a woman. Choose in a way of, okay, is this also giving me stability? Not that he has to be rich and pay for everything, no. But does he have a job? Does he have ambition? That's very, very important in a man, okay? Because whatever a man is lacking, he will take from you. So if he's lacking ambition, if he's lacking finances, you're going to be struggling just the same. The thing is, learn skills. So whatever you can learn, like for example, you want to learn how to give massages because you want to open a massage salon, how to cook because you want to be a personal chef, learn how to do makeup very well because you want to be a makeup artist, or you want to sell makeup products. Whatever you are interested in, look it up and learn about it, or teach yourself how to do that. We have such big blessings, guys. Like back in the day, they had to open books, they had to read books in order to even learn any subject. Right now, we have a phone in front of us. We have ChatGPT. We can literally ask anything, or we can look up any video and just understand how to do that, or take inspiration from other people, you know. Learn about these skills and teach them to yourself so that you know more things, or you know how to do them. I remember in the first times in my YouTube career, every day I was reading books, every single day. I read about manifestation, science behind manifestation. I read about literally any subject, trauma healing, everything. Teach other people about what I've read. But I was every day for hours just studying subjects. Other thing is, look towards a future that you want and never ever look back. This is how you change reality, okay? You just look, this is the future that I want. Anything that is happening right now, any past that was going on, whatever, it does not exist anymore. You can only focus on what is good and what is coming and what you want, because that is where your energy will go. Wherever your energy will go will flow into your life, okay? You cannot allow people that don't align with your vision, relationships, jobs that don't align with your vision or where you're trying to go, you cannot allow them into your life, okay? If let's say you have a super draining job, you're literally unhappy, you cannot do that job, get another one. Go somewhere else. It doesn't have to be a great job either, but at least better than the one you are in right now. Because if you hate your life that much, if you hate going to that job that much, no amount of money is worth that, okay? Your vibration will constantly be low and you won't attract the things that you want. So we look towards, okay, this is what I want, and I'm not gonna budge for anything or anyone. You need to have laser focus. You don't hear other opinions. You don't listen to them. This is the only way you're going. When you have that mentality, like, I want this as much as I want to breathe, you'll be successful. So sponsors don't like hateful content. So a lot of sponsors, they don't work with these type of people because they don't want to be associated with cyberbullying. But for you as a creator, it is actually good when they're bullying you, or when they're making videos about you, or even when they're making lies up about you, because it drives more people to your Instagram, to your TikTok, to your Snapchat, to your YouTube. I really started getting a lot of hate after the whole cheating scandal, and a lot of people lied so much about me, but I got so many opportunities after that, and I was literally like, wow, this is actually really good. They're like free publicists, because what they're actually doing is making people more interested in you. Because what I also have observed from social media is that the women, especially, that are hated the most, people are the most interested in. People are not really that interested when you're just loved by everyone. It's kind of boring. Like, our brain loves a little drama and negativity. So when you see women, for example, think of women online that are really hated and they get so much backlash constantly. Those are the ones selling their businesses for $1 billion, because people don't like when someone gets hated on constantly, but people also don't like when someone gets loved constantly. But when the dynamic is too big, people will side with them. So for example, if you see a celebrity that's constantly hated on, a lot of people are gonna start defending them because a lot of people have been bullied. And this is just like bullying to them, especially if that person is not bothering anyone. So their psyche goes towards, I need to protect this person, and they do that, and they actually like the person more. The thing I truly believe in is blessing women with money. I really have seen in my own life when I got signed with YouTube, and I got my first paycheck from YouTube. I was 21, and I literally went, and my first paycheck I sent to my mom. Then what did I do? Ever since I'm 21, I've been sending my mom a monthly allowance, and on her birthday, I will send her like a big sum of money every time. And then when I was 22 and I had my first big sponsorship, I paid off her house completely. And honestly, when I made that transaction, that is also when I started looking at money differently, because I thought to myself, oh my God, like my mom would have had to work for the next 15 years still just to pay this house off. And I did that in literally one transaction. That's it. It was done. Such a weird moment for me because I was like, how is this even real? I honestly started looking at life as a video game then. I also paid off her car. I bought my mom a new car. I paid for any vacations. I paid for any expenses that my friends had, my family had, wherever they wanted to go. So yeah, I've always helped women in that regard. Also, even on my social media, or Women's Day, or like when I got cheated on, I donated to single moms. I'm always trying to give back to women because I really believe that women are the gateway to abundance. And I really, really believe in honoring the divine feminine. I think women are the closest thing to God because they are literally the source that brings life into this world. We are all here because a woman birthed us. So I think we should honor the feminine, and I do that by giving the money. Also, don't be afraid to do social media in your own language, because I feel like everyone wants to gravitate towards English because it's international. But I think right now the English market and the English speaking market is so big, so you have a lot of competition. Now, for example, if you would speak your language from the country that you're in, you make content like that, you could also make a lot of money within the country and you have a lot less competition. So I feel like our souls are here on earth to create. And I'm seeing the big division between the creator and the consumer now. And I don't want any of my fans watching to be a consumer, because these people are not going to make it. And it's not because they're not qualified, it's because they are just so almost addicted to just taking in content and not doing anything about their lives. And the creation, it doesn't have to be big. It just has to be something that fulfills your soul and that makes you happy. When you are happy from the inside, when you're working from your heart, you attract a lot of abundance and you attract a lot of money. Stop saying bad affirmations. Like I see a lot of people say money is not important, money isn't good, I cannot do that, it's impossible, all these things. These are very negative affirmations and you're calling that into your life. Don't do that. Don't do that. I was always very delusional about everything I say, and I try to watch my mouth as closely as I can when I speak, because I know that your words are like a magical sentence. Because if you tell God that money is not important, then he thinks, okay, so you don't need it. Go ahead. So be very careful of what you speak into existence. You have to say, money loves me. I love money. I really think because I always had such a big love for money, it just keeps flowing into my life because money knows it's welcome with me. It knows I'm open to receive that. God knows that I like that. I like the stability that I get from that. So start saying that to yourself. You know, we often get indoctrinated to believe that money is a bad thing, but I really think that money just amplifies who you are. I think if you're a bad person, you're going to be an even worse person with money. I think if you're a good person, you're going to be an even better person with money. So whoever you are, money will show you who you really are even more. Also, you have to be very confident and never back down for anyone. You always keep your head high. You always walk into the room as if God himself sent you there. Do not look down for anyone and love yourself to the fullest. That's it. Whatever anyone says about you, whoever believes in you, whoever doesn't, it does not matter. As long as you wake up every morning and you look yourself in the mirror and you love what you see and you love who's staring back at you because you know that you are worth it, that's when you will win. That's when you have the strongest mindset. You don't need anything else. You have to always be there for you. As long as you have yourself, you have everything. The minute you lose yourself, the minute you lose your mind, you lose everything. And no one is going to come save you. No one is going to be there like, oh, I wish I could have helped her. No. People, 80% will be happy that you fell and 20% will not care. So you have to be there for yourself, to pick yourself up every single time. because you're showing your inner child that you're an adult that they can rely on, because your inner child never got that. Now be that for yourself. So shame and overthinking is one of the biggest reasons that most of you guys don't make it, truly. A lot of you guys are embarrassed to look embarrassed in front of this person, whatever, this and that. Why would you care? Tomorrow, they're going to be 80 years old, you're going to be 80 years old, and then what? You think they're going to give you a medal because you lived for them, because you put yourself in a cage, because you cared so much about other people not finding you weird, other people not finding you cringe? Girl, the people cringe and weird out here are making millions, truly. They're making all of that money, they're creating generational wealth because they're not scared to look like a fool, because the only fool in the end is the person that is struggling because they put themselves in an imaginary cage. Why put yourself there? This is your life. This is your life. Do you want to struggle? People, you know, online and all these things like that are doing it and doing everything. It's not that they're special. They just don't overthink. They just do. Yeah. The whole problem with a lot of people is they think that what they have is not special, and they think that people don't want to hear their voice. They're not good enough. They're this and that. That is the whole reason why you guys don't make it, because you don't believe in yourself. You just have to do and then think about it later. At least put it out there. Put it out in the universe, you know, put it out, whatever you're creating, put it there, and then just see what will happen from it and what will come from it. And anything that you put out with a good intention, there's nothing bad that will come from that. Delusional faith in yourself, and you just have to think, no matter what, I am going to make it, and no one is going to stop me. Nothing can stop me. Get rid of that fear, get rid of that anxiety. You will accomplish everything you set your mind to because you are capable. I hope this helped someone. I hope you guys had some clarity. And yeah, I will see you in the next video. I love you guys so much, and bye-bye.